A hit draft is where everybody buys in. So let's say I do I'll use the Optic Blaster as an example, okay? So let's say we do the Optic Blaster, okay? We would open this blaster up. Everybody that would buy in for the same amount of money, okay? So let's say 6 people. I don't know how many it would be. It wouldn't probably be that many for a blaster. And typically we would do hobby product that has more hits, like this Plates and Patches has 5 hits in the box, right? It has 5 total cards. All of them are numbered. So in the Plates and Patches, we would sell 5 spots, okay? What we would do is we would set a price and we would say it is X dollars for the buy-in, 5 total spots. So for Plates and Patches, that's probably like 75 a spot, okay? So everybody pays $75, 5 people in. We then go and we open the box of Plates and Patches and we put all 5 cards out on the table. We then take all 5 people that bought in, we put them in a random.org list, and we randomize it some random amount of times. And then that tells you a draft order, just like a fantasy football draft. That tells you a draft order. Whoever is number 1 on the list gets to pick 1 card that they want first. Number 2 then gets to pick a card that they want. Number 3 gets to pick a card that they want. So essentially it means that, in a random idea, 1 person gets to pick first and gets to choose, but everybody gets a card in it. So in theory, in a product like that, everybody's going to get a numbered hit or something of that nature. It's just you pull a big money card. Whoever gets number 1 on that random list gets to draft that card first. So drafts. You see them on high-end product a lot. When you see a product that's like $1,000 a box and it only has like 7 cards in the box, you run it to where you go, okay, well, we're going to 125 a spot or 150 a spot to get a chance at getting a big dollar card out of that. And in theory, if you're breaking the higher dollar stuff, the top 3 or 4 spots are all going to get something that pays back their entry. So that's the difference in the hit draft. Yeah, I mean, I'm using the blaster as an example, but whatever the product is, you can do them on products. We're going to do them on gaming products too. Magic the Gathering and Pokemon hit drafts are something that are done pretty commonly on some of that stuff, so we're going to do that as well. We'll be breaking other products. We appreciate it. Yeah, we do all kinds of stuff as far as hobby and retail. We're not the guys that go stand on the Walmart aisle and clear the shelf when the guy sticks it up there. We don't do that. We get people that pop in and ask us that from time to time, as you may have seen in the chat, that ask, oh, where do you get your product? And they do that simply because they try to call out if we're those guys sweeping the retail shelves. Blake and I don't do that, and even when we were trying to secure product when we first started, we kind of had a rule that we didn't take everything on the shelf. We always left stuff for other people. We didn't just sweep everything into a basket and run to the checkout. I can't say that didn't happen, on a couple of occasions. There were a couple of times where, we knew that people were about to walk in and take a bunch, and we were already late to the party, so we just grabbed what we could get. But that happened very seldom, and when we were some of the first to be fortunate enough to get there, we like leaving it for others because we hope that eventually that would get left for us. We also fully support the buy limits at retail. That's a big deal. We are in full support of the purchase limits at mass retail, limiting to 2 or 3 of each SKU to people. It stops those cart clearers. We're all about that. We fully support that. We appreciate taking the means to stop some of that. Yeah, we're gonna go. We're gonna do personal breaks on Twitch and do breaks on Twitch live. YouTube is where we send the eBay audience to get the new traffic, but Twitch is where we're going to do be actually just on here breaking, setting up breaks, doing breaks, buying into breaks live, doing personals, all kinds of stuff. Twitch is going to be the home for that. We're just mainly trying to get to 1,000 subs on YouTube first. Trying to grow that audience so that we can get an audience there. Because once you hit 1,000 subs on YouTube, you get to 5,000 significantly quicker. Because I have a couple of friends of mine that are big time streamers. They somewhere in the ballpark, anywhere 10 to 20,000 subs on YouTube. And they've got tons and tons of subs on Twitch. They do both. And, you know, I watched them through the pandemic. Both of them started, they basically kind of lost their jobs during the pandemic and focused on creating their own channels. And now they do very, very well. And once you hit that 1,000 subs on YouTube, the algorithm starts putting you in front of people and you grow organically. Before you get to 1,000 subs on YouTube, it's really hard for YouTube to grow organically. Unless you manage to get your video in front of the right people with the right tags on a social media platform, it's hard to capitalize on it. But once you hit the 1,000, the YouTube algorithm will help you a lot getting there. Blake and I, you know, this is a passion thing for us. This is what we love. And I've been doing, you know, I've been in the card industry all of my adult life. So this is what I have been doing since I was young and been in the actual industry all of my adult life. So not new to it. 40 years of experience in the industry between the two of us. So doing it a while. I always get in those arguments with some of the people that are older and been, you know, owned a card shop or something. They just don't believe me when I'm like, you know, I ran a card shop that did sports cards and game cards when I was 16 years old. I was a manager of one, so, you know, crazy to think how long that has been. But yeah, went to college and went to work for a manufacturer of sports cards and gaming cards right out of college, and have been doing it ever since. And 20 some odd years later, we are our prices are cheap, Toby, and we did that on purpose. Blake gives me a little bit of a hard time. He's like, man, we're selling stuff cheap. We're selling eBay comps. Again, you know, we're trying to be content creators just as much as anything else. So while we don't want to sell them way too low, we also, with trying to generate the following, we're also trying not to be, you know, over the top. But yeah, we hit the 50 that we needed. The first level with Twitch, we hit the first 50. So we're there. We're just working on some monetization with the company, because it is an actual company. It's not just me and Blake's show. So yeah, and we plan on keeping our prices reasonable. I mean, we're not in a position where we need to make, you know, lots of money off of every single break. Don't get me wrong. We would like to make money off of every single break, but we have bigger goals. We're not just breakers. You know, we're not just retail pirates. We have a lot of different things that we want to do with our content going forward, and more stuff, because again, we've been in this industry a long time. I've been in this industry a long time. I like sharing the stories of the years I was working for Donruss Playoff and behind the curtain, things that most people in the industry don't ever get to know because nobody ever talks about it. You know, it's not ever shared. You don't get to hear about crazy stories and print runs and how things are produced, and, you know, people don't understand how a lot of that happens. So we like to be kind of on that level of being able to share those stories, content creation, bring education and awareness to a lot of stuff. But, you know, eventually we do want to make the money on breaks, but that's not our first thing. All of the content editing, Blake is the content editor. I do all of our writing, so all of our website content I write. I handle pretty much everything on the website. Store building, because I've built enough of them. Although I'm rushing this one, I got a lot to do on this one. But yeah, Blake does all of our video content editing on YouTube and stuff like that. He had zero experience when we started. You can tell the difference, and now things are starting to pick up. So.